Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, some breaking news to go through within the very start of the show tonight. And it's breaking news within the last 20 minutes or so. So, this is an update coming in from both Fabrizio Romano and from David Ornstein. Harry Maguire is set to step Manchester United this season. That is what's going to happen, guys. The West Ham move is well and truly off. We had seen rumours of this all day long. And now it's happened. Now it's been confirmed. Manchester United will be keeping Harry Maguire for the upcoming season. Guys, look, I'm asking you guys in the poll as well tonight. How do you guys feel about it? Are you happy? Are you not care? Are you annoyed? Let me know your thoughts. But Harry Maguire is set to stay at Manchester United. It's not expected. I thought he was gone. I thought he was going. Manchester United agreed the fee with West Ham. The issue is clearly Harry Maguire and going to West Ham United. It's clearly Harry Maguire and these wages that he is on at United. Not going to take this pay cut. Not going to take the career opportunity to go to West Ham, guys. And I have to say, I'm disappointed. I really can't lie. Harry Maguire was a player I've been saying for a long time had to leave this football club. He had to go for his career, had to go for Manchester United. The situation has been toxic. The situation has not been good. He's not first choice. He's not second choice. He's not third choice. He's barely fourth choice of Manchester United. But he's staying. He will be a Manchester United player in this upcoming season. Dan says we need Varane to stay fit. Absolutely. Irfan says I'm sick about the transfer market and Harry Maguire. Absolutely, man. I'm very sick of Harry Maguire. Now, let me read up exactly what David Ornstein has said. So, David Ornstein has said Harry Maguire will not be joining West Ham United. Manchester United would need to replace on a short time frame, and Erik Ten Hag sees Maguire as an important member of the squad and is happy for him to fight for his place. Let me tell you this, guys, that is nothing at all but club spin. That is Manchester United trying to put a positive spin on this Harry Maguire situation, because only on Sunday we bid for Pavard and the bid was rejected. So I don't think he was ever in United's plans. I think United have wanted him to go. Sources close to Harry Maguire said that Harry respects West Ham and David Moyes, but to be clear, there was never an agreement between Harry Maguire and West Ham. The process was not advanced as portrayed in the media, and for example, Harry had not even spoken to David Moyes. Let me tell you again, guys, this is absolutely made up lies. Because David Moyes, in a press conference, said the deal was agreed to bring Harry Maguire to West Ham. They had agreed a fee with Manchester United. He only had to go. It's so disappointing, guys. Stephen is down there. We aren't getting top four if Maguire stays or goes. The midfield is broken. Stefan Amrabat, I think, has to come in. That deal is set to advance with the sale of Van de Beek this week. Manchester United is set to make an official bid. But I want to talk about this Maguire situation just before we move on, because I'm really sick of this. This is a guy who is not even fourth choice of Manchester United. Luke Shaw starts ahead of Harry Maguire at centre-back, and he's looking to stay. And he would not be staying if he lost his England position. Really frustrating there. Yes, Stephen, I did see the Ben Jacobs update on Stretford Paddock. Dad said Casemiro had to cover so much ground last night, it was criminal. Bruno was a joke. Yeah, the midfield just wasn't right, man. Not at all. Far too big a disconnect. Stephen says Glazers are staying. I haven't seen, all I've seen really was the Ben Jacobs saying the Qataris weren't out of the race. I hadn't seen any full interviews, but I will have to look out for quotes on that one. But Maguire, guys, Maguire, like, this is a man who is not good enough for this football club. He doesn't fit in. He isn't right. Will not be a major player this season for Manchester United. And he's going to stay. He's going to stay for the money. He's going to stay because he only cares about playing for Gareth Southgate in England, and he'll get picked regardless. Irfan says, watch United play, only Rashford, Onana and Wan-Bissaka were good. Yeah, look, last night was a very disappointing performance, guys. Make no mistake about it. But this Maguire stuff, honestly, guys, it is so frustrating, because we can see right through it. We can see Manchester United tried to sell this guy. He wouldn't go, and now it's trying to be spun like, oh, we were never going to sell him. The issue is we couldn't get a replacement. Absolute nonsense, guys. Absolute nonsense. Let me tell you that for a fact. we literally bid for Benjamin Pavard. We had scouts watching Tebedo. Manchester United would not have accepted the bid in the first place from Harry Maguire from West Ham if they weren't going to be able to get a replacement. You know, it is as simple as that. So I know you guys are smart. I know you guys will not be falling for the club spin being put out there, the Maguire spin being put out there. This is a man who had to leave, he had to go, and he's going to stay. And there's nothing we can do about it. And seemingly there's nothing United can do. Chatsport says he'll get at least 20 matches this season. He might do, but I mean, Lindelof's ahead of him, Varane and Martinez. Luke Shaw probably starts left centre back over him. So there's at least 4 players there. I think if Maguire stays, I mean, yeah, he might do what he did last year, come on and help defend Leeds. But I mean, that's not what we need this guy for. We should be selling him. We should be bringing in Pavard or Tebedo. Now those deals are probably not going to happen. Financial restraints. Without a Harry Maguire seal, we have no other centre-back options coming in. Ronnie is down there. Do you think Rashford's carrying an injury? He looked that way on Monday when he was playing, especially he was making the runs. I think it's more playing central. It really doesn't suit his game, I don't think. Andrew says, Harry reminds me of the one player who had a football but had to play every game because it was his ball. Useless. Yeah, look, it's frustrating. Stephen saying this window's been a 4 out of 10. Daz says Johnny Evans is ahead of him. Johnny Evans should be ahead of him. He really should. Look, this is a guy who had to leave, and he's just not going. I don't think Erik Ten Hag could have done anything more. I really don't. Let me see. Jeremy saying he's entitled to stay and collect a paycheck, but it says loads about his character, no ambition. Yeah, exactly. Look, he's a guaranteed contract, a guaranteed wage. It has to be honoured unless he chooses to go. You know, we're not going to pay him out. If we want to pay him out, that's 10-15 million pounds, and then why bother selling him? You know, that's what it's coming down to. I'm so fresh is down there. Unfortunately, man, it is true. Romano has said it. Ornstein has said it. The deal is off with West Ham. The deal will not happen. Maguire's going to stay here, guys. This is where we find ourselves. Stephanie's down there. Good to see you, Stephanie. Hope all is good. And just on the poll as well, 68% of you guys are annoyed that he is staying, and 23% don't really care. Look, if he was first choice, I would care more, but I can't help but feel annoyed. I feel like Tebedo or Pavard would have been such an addition to the squad. Really, really would have helped us with what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build, would have filled the holes in the squad. But we're not getting those guys because Maguire's not going. A lack of ambition, guys. Irfan says, what is the news about Ibrahim Sangare to PSG? I really haven't seen too much on Ibrahim Sangare. Look, he might go to PSG. He might go to Liverpool. They need a holding midfielder, I guess. But I don't know. Andrew says, Rashford playing in the centre can't play back to keeper. He runs with the ball, not a link-up player. No, absolutely not. That's what Højlund's got to be for. Højlund will be a big improvement. Sniper Pat is saying we were so lucky last night. There's no teamwork in the midfield. Disgrace. And what is going on? If we keep this, we'll be turned over by most teams. Love the show. Big ups. Thanks for the compliment, man. Yeah, look, we need to improve. It was a broken system last night. I think Mount and Bruno were pushing up too far. I think Casemiro was sitting back too much. There was far too much space. We could have parked a double-decker bus between Mount, Bruno and Casemiro behind them. Needs to be closer. Let me see who we got down here. Ronnie said, Harry owes us money. I had that VAR booked for his... I had the vans. Harry booked for his move to West Ham. Oh, man. Andrew's asking what I think of Mount's signing. I like Mount. I think he's going to be a good signing. A lot of overreaction. The guy's played one Premier League match, and he wasn't even that bad. He wasn't the worst player last night. So I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. But yeah, look, Harry Maguire. That's the disappointing one, guys. That's the one we didn't want to see. Look, we can see this coming in, and this is the issue here. This is the problem, and that's what's really going to hit us in this window. So, coming in from the Daily Mirror of Football, Benjamin Pavard will not join Manchester United unless Harry Maguire leaves. United are struggling for the payoff. Payoff's not happening, guys. Maguire's going to be staying. And that for me is a massive disappointment. And it's not the first time these big contracts have come back to really bite United. We've seen it with Alexis Sanchez. We had to pay him money to leave the club. Several £1 million. And this is the latest in a long line of players. Do not give players who might not be good enough massive contracts. if we stop overpaying bang average players, we wouldn't find ourselves in this situation, but we do. Daz is saying it's the defense didn't play high enough and Wolves caught us out with the high press. Yeah, it was like a 5-3 in the midfield as well. Their wings tucked in really flooded the middle of the pitch. Look, United, the obvious thing we should have been doing was playing wider, but we didn't quite get it as well. So things to work on, most certainly for Erik Ten Hag. I think it's quite telling we played a friendly match today as well. I don't think the fitness levels look to be there, guys. Sinkin says Maguire should not be getting any games till the January transfer window. He will definitely go if he wants to be picked for Euros. I genuinely think Gareth Southgate's refusal to ever drop his favourite players, the likes of Maguire and Jordan Henderson, that's why Maguire's staying. If Gareth Southgate picks up the phone and said, Harry, I'm not going to pick you if you're not paying, he would go. He would go. And that's the truth of the situation, guys. And it's the exact same with Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson is playing in Saudi Arabia now, and he will be in that England squad because Southgate does have his favourites. Irfan wants Onana from Everton. Not a bad player. It's going to be Onana or it's going to be Amrabat, in my opinion. I think Amrabat's the guy. I've been saying it for a long time. But this Maguire situation is getting toxic. It really is. I can't see any way back for this guy. I really can't. The fans have wanted him gone for a long time. The fans do not back this guy. We didn't want him as captain. We've wanted him sold. I don't know what sort of reaction he's going to get from Manchester United fans, especially with the perceived narrative and what's coming out from the press that he was looking paid off to leave the club. This guy is not going to be popular whatsoever. I do think as well that he received threats to his house and to his family from some crazy United fans who really overstepped the mark, and the guy is still staying here. He needs to get out of this club. He needs to leave. And it's not happening, guys. It's not happening. Luman sound there. Good to see you, man. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 15. Big ups to yourself. Quick update coming in on Mason Mount as well. This coming from his dad as well. So he has said, I've tried to let it go all day, but shame on TalkSport and the media. These players, Mason included, get enough abuse without you adding fuel to the fire. Reminder, he's had a very successful career in football. He's a good, kind human being, and more often than not, I have more respect for him than I can say for some of your reporters. I think the amount of abuse is really ridiculous. Like, the guy's only played one match. I'm not bothered whatsoever. Look, even Bruno Fernandes in his first match was pretty poor against Wolves on his debut. But yeah, look, this Maguire situation, it's going toxic. If United struggle playing out of the back, if we struggle and we all acknowledge that a Speedo or a Pavard was a much better player, if Harry Maguire makes a mistake this season, he will be jumped on by this fan base more than any other fan base. And it's because of this narrative that's gone around that has been allowed to come out, where for some reason someone on Maguire's side decided it was a good idea to say he was looking paid off and he was looking £10 million for Manchester United. That's never ever going to endear you to the fans. That's never going to make the fans support you. He's had abuse all over pre-season, booed in stadiums. He was booed in Dublin whenever I was there when he made a mistake. Every touch after was booed on the pitch as well. This guy, I don't know, people do genuinely feel like he's staying to wind this up. I think he needs to go. I really do, guys. Sinkin says, Southgate said last week on TalkSport he will pick players in form and playing for their clubs regularly. I mean, he says that, but there are the favourites. Henderson has been to at least one major championships already injured. He is playing in Saudi Arabia now. He will be picked. He will. I mean, Calvin Phillips, the obvious one as well. This guy played one full 90 in the Premier League last season, and he was called up for England duty. So it applies to some players, not to all players. That's my problem with Gareth Southgate as a manager. Harry should be left to rot and miss his England spot. It's an extreme one there, but I think he should lose that England spot, absolutely. And there's better centre-backs for England. I mean, they've got John Stones, they have Tomori, they have, I don't know, like, you could probably play Ben White in there still. There are better options who are English than Harry Maguire, for sure, guys. Andrew says the problem was Mount, not Rashi or Casemiro. We don't have a striker to play 4-3-3. When Sancho came on, he made a difference. Yeah, look, Sancho made a big difference last night. Best match I've seen from Sancho in a long time. Stephanie says Casemiro didn't look fit, and that's the problem. If he's an off game or suspended, the team struggles. Need reinforcements in that area. We absolutely do. 100% right, Stephanie. And I have to agree on you. And hopefully, we're about to get that. Hopefully, we're going to get ourselves those reinforcements that we really want to see. So, coming in from Repubblica in Italy, Manchester United are finally set to make their move for Stefan Amrabat after agreeing to sell Fred to Fenerbahce, and they are deep in talks to sell Donny van de Beek. 30 million bid expected from Manchester United. I think Amrabat, you could have seen the need for him last night. Really could have. If we had Amrabat to put on or play in that match, we wouldn't have been ran through so easily. And it was every single time in the middle. It was a hard watch last night. It really, really was at times. The man says, why are the players so animated when celebrating a goal? Childish to me. I think it's just a passion thing, man. I have no problem at all with it. I mean, look, it's one of those. It's not the biggest goal in the world to score a winner against Wolves, but it is what it is. Lee says, we played Crapola. I'll take the 3 points. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's the main thing. That is the main thing. It isn't the performance. If you win the match, then we worry about performances. There's been a massive reaction from Manchester United fans, from the press, from the media. Imagine what it would have been if we lost the match. And we probably should have. But 3 points are 3 points. We have to be better next week. If we turn up and play Tottenham Hotspur like that, we will get turned over. We will be beaten badly. It will be 2 or 3, maybe even 4-0 if we put in a similar shift as we did last night. So a big, big improvement is needed. Gani is saying, I think we should get Onana this transfer window. Something not right with Casemiro. He might be wanting Saudi money. I don't think it's Saudi money. I think what it is with Casemiro is genuinely an age thing as well. You know, last season he played in a double pivot. This year he's trying to play in a single as a lone DM. Does he have the legs for it? That's the question. And I think we're going to find out. I think Amrabat's required. Nick Knock says, annoyed. Got it is a word. I should have put a different option in. I should have put fuming in maybe. Or let me see as well. We also got Nick Knock blames Southgate. John Stones makes Maguire look good when he's crap. Yeah, look, Maguire looks good in the England system because it's more defensive. Very often it's 5 at the back. If it's not 5 at the back, it's a 4-2-3-1 with Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips in front of him. So he's well protected. And most matches that England play, they play Albania or they play Montenegro or they play San Marino or Andorra. These are not top quality teams that they're coming up against. Stephanie says, if I was West Ham, I wouldn't touch Maguire with a barge pull. United should stop him playing for England and force him out. He's toxic to the team. I don't know if we can force a guy to stop playing for England. I really don't. But I mean, I think it's the England spot coming down to it. I seriously do. And I think it's kind of warped because while Southgate says in public, yes, you have to play regularly for your team. You have to be playing good to be in our squad. I don't think he actually means that either. And that's definitely annoying as well. Dad says Bruno hasn't a clue reading games. It's not his game. Like he's an attacking player, a creator. That's not his match. Terry says, is there any news on Amrabat? Maguire needs to move on and prove himself for sure. Imagine the abuse he'll get at United. Yeah, look, it's about perceptions. It's not looking good. Yusuf is looking Amrabat as well, guys. Drop a like on the video as well. We're up to 22 likes. Big ups, guys, on that one. Let me just take a drink there as well. So, some news coming in on Stefan Amrabat today. So Repubblica said United is set to make the official move at long last. We also have coming in from QN, who are an Italian sports outlet. They're saying United want to complete the Stefan Amrabat deal in the next few days. The transfer will happen. United are just waiting to confirm Donny van de Beek's sale. So a lot of stories going about that Van de Beek could be set to go. I think it has to happen. I don't think he was in the squad last night. I think he's a player who will be moved on, and rightfully so. And Amrabat's what we need. We need legs in that midfield. We need some bite. He is just that. Irfan's right. Mateus Nunes is absolutely fantastic. I would really take him at United. I think he would be fantastic. Let me see as well. Greg is saying, money has wrecked the game. Maguire's a fine example. He isn't the only one either, man. The countless list as well. I mean, look, we're seeing Neymar going to Saudi Arabia today for 2 seasons, getting 300 million. Like, it's crazy what money has done to this game. I thought Mount wasn't too bad last night. Bags of energy. My issues last night was Bruno and Anthony. Bruno giving the ball away casually and getting pressed on. Yeah, I think we were sloppy going forward, and the press. It was good at times, but we kind of played into Wolves' hands sometimes as well. That says Liverpool will end up going for Amrabat. I think they're going for a guy from Nice, maybe. But I don't think they're going to bring. I don't think they're going to bring in Amrabat. They had a fallout in January with Klopp and his agent because they wanted Amrabat to come. He didn't want to go. Gani says, here the 7% happy Maguire staying. I don't know, man. Maybe we've got some trolls in the comments. Knack says, rumours Liverpool might go for Chiameni. I mean, they might do. Clearly, they've got the money. And look, I will say this really quickly about Liverpool. I think they've really messed up in the sense that what they have done is show the whole football world how much money they have. You don't offer £110 million and have it rejected. Now anybody they ask for, it's going to be double price. It really is, guys. Knick-knack is laughing then there as well. And Stephanie says, Wan-Bissaka, man of the match. I thought Wan-Bissaka was good. I'm going to say between Wan-Bissaka and Onana, although Onana probably should have given a penalty away. I think that was a penalty, all things considered, but we got away with it. It means we're going to get some stupid decisions given against us at the weekend against Spurs, because that's what happens. Forget about good refereeing. It's about just equaling things out. If you get a good decision, next few weeks you get bad decisions. That's the way that refereeing works in the Premier League. We've seen it last year. That goal of Bruno's against Man City. For weeks after that, United never got a decision. And I'm expecting that to happen again, guys. So let me check the poll as well, because I'd ask you guys your thoughts on Harry Maguire staying. 6% are happy, 21% don't care, 73% feel annoyed at that as well. Andrew, you're right, man. Absolutely, 3 points. That is most important. Jeremy thinks the Casemiro ban is incoming. I hope not. I hope not. Let me see what other updates we have tonight. So it's official as well. Matej Kovar has signed for Bayer Leverkusen, deal worth around about 9 million. Not too bad. Might add a little bit of money towards the Amrabat fund, but clearly not going to be a Pavard fund or a Tobido fund. That doesn't look likely. I wish it were the case, but it's not likely, guys. Definitely says we had a game today behind closed doors against Everton. Goran Hannibal played well. Yeah, they did. I think McTominay scored, and there was an own goal as well in a 2-0 win for Manchester United. Not too bad performance there, seemingly. What I would say is, I think we can see the glaring need for Kobbie Mainoo in this team. I think we see where Kobbie's going to add a lot to this team. Gordon is saying, I hate that one. He only wants to give away own goals. I think that's about Maguire. I mean, look, it's not intentional. It just sometimes happens. But Maguire's one of those defenders, and it's like, because of the relationship that Harry Maguire has with the fan base, even if we let a goal in, the first instinct is to blame Maguire in some way. And that's just not a healthy situation to be in. And that's just not a healthy relationship between fan and player. And I don't think there's any way to come back from it. I don't think you bounce back. I don't think you suddenly win the fans over. I think fans' minds and fans' decisions have been made up a long, long time on this one. Andrew says, Maguire read Bill's book on how to play golf and get paid with football money. It's not a bad job. Not a bad job if you can get it. Nick-Knock says, strange to play a friendly the day after a league match. Must have been younger players. Yeah, because younger players, Martial, some of the squad fringe type players. We did kind of look a little bit unfit last night as well. I did notice it. So hopefully we can get some more fitness back in, because we need to be better next week against Tottenham. We really do, because they'll fancy themselves after watching us play last night. They really will. They will have WhatsApp match and say, we can get at United. They will drive at us. Madison's probably going to cause us all sorts of problems. So United need to be a lot better. Pinka said Maguire's not even a championship level player. Terry says Chelsea have spent over £1 billion. Yeah, look, FFP is a nonsense. Chelsea have spent £1 billion in the last 3 transfer windows. That's a calendar year. I mean, it is crazy business. It's crazy times, and I guess they're in for a penny, in for a pound. If they're going to get banned, you may as well do it in style and spend all the money you can before then. Sinkin says, come Saturday, we need to start Sancho, false 9, Rashford to left wing. Garnacho is a good sub. He needs to be when defenders are tired. I don't think he's a starter yet. He is lacking maturity. I think you might be right. I think his decision making is getting better, but he is only 19. I think Sancho deserves a start. I thought he was really good last night. and I think a lot of people would agree that he was a difference maker when he got onto the pitch. Loads of people joining in as well, guys. Drop a like in the video. We're up to 25. Can we get some more as well? Stephanie saying the 7% on the poll are West Ham fans. Possibly. Maybe we've got some hammers in the chat after all. Let me have a double check here as well, because there was some more stuff we wanted to go through. Yeah, so Manchester United have completed the signings of Jack and Tyler Fletcher from Man City's academy. So there's a signing or two there for the youth team. Of course, both players are sons of Darren Fletcher, so maybe there's a little bit of nepotism in there, but I think they're good. I think they're good players from what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've read. St. Don Bosco's down there, mainly a big loss. We need Amrabat and a striker. Yeah, we do. We need to see Rasmus Højlund in this team. I think he would have made a difference last night. I think we were crying for an outlet, someone to hold the ball up. I think he would have been good coming on for sure. Andrew, yep, a lot of teams did play 4-4-2. I don't think it suits United, though. I don't think we've got the legs in midfield. I think if you bring Amrabat in, maybe you can do it. I think that's a possibility. Nick Knack says Chelsea have also sold $500 million worth in the players. Yeah, look, the Chelsea sales are kind of interesting because they're being sold to Saudi Arabia. They're really overpaying for what these Chelsea players are worth. And I think the Saudis are investors in Todd Bowley's company that he runs anyway. So might be something in that. I think we know something else as a player. Absolutely. Greg says last night showed we need two in the pivot. Amrabat needs to be signed, needs to partner Casemiro. The midfield didn't exist last night, and that was against a team heavily tipped to go down. Yeah, it did. Absolutely right. I think Wolves matched up well. I think they went physical, but you're right. Not every team is going to be as physical or have the driving runners like Mateus Nunes and Lamina in midfield. But absolutely, we do need Amrabat in here. We need him at this club. Michael is saying, let him go and we buy no one, and then he goes and scores. Oh, man. Yeah, look, here's the thing. Manchester United, for anybody who has missed, actually, for anyone who has just joined maybe in the last 10 minutes or so, let me just quickly go back over this Harry Maguire story because it's complete nonsense. The report from David Ornstein is complete nonsense, and I've no doubt that his sources are good, but it's clear and obvious that this is this is what we would call a spin. This is PR. This is United and Harry Maguire trying to put a good spin on this story. First and foremost, coming in from David Ornstein. So Ornstein has said that Harry Maguire will not be joining West Ham. Manchester United would need to replace on a short time budget. Erik Ten Hag sees Maguire as an important squad member and is happy for him to stay. I mean, he's took the armband off him. He's dropped him from the first team. He plays Luke Shaw ahead of him. He plays Victor Lindelof ahead of him. He signs Johnny Evans on a free agent signing, age 35. Do you think Erik Ten Hag is happy with Harry Maguire, that this is a player that he wants to work with? I don't buy it whatsoever, guys. I seriously don't. And I think it's just pathetic club spin. And then we have the Harry Maguire spin from his agents, from his sources. And this is coming in from Sky Sports. Sources close to Harry Maguire respect West Ham and David Moyes. But to be clear, there was never an agreement in place for Harry to go to West Ham. The process was not advanced as it was portrayed in the media. And for example, at no point did Harry ever speak to David Moyes. Let me tell you, first and foremost, guys, David Moyes came out in a press conference and said a deal was done to bring Harry Maguire to West Ham. Fabrizio Romano himself said, here we go, within 24 hours. The deal was done. Harry Maguire has chose not to go. It's as simple as that. That is it. Like, that is it. Top and bottom. There is no ifs, no buts, no maybes. Maguire has refused to leave this football club. And now we're not going to get a player Erik Ten Hag wants in Benjamin Pavard and a player Erik Ten Hag would like in Tebito. And we're stuck with Harry Maguire. So this is where we find ourselves. We've tried to be ruthless, and Harry Maguire has cemented himself, superglued his hands to the Old Trafford dugout, just like he's a Just Stop Oil protester. He has superglued himself in place and said, I shall not be moved. that's it. Like, that is the ambition of this man. Nick Knock says the problem we have when you play massive wages, absolutely. You pay stupid money, you're playing stupid games. We did this with Alexis Sanchez. We wanted him to go, we had to pay him off like £10 million. This is what happens. This Andrew says, you mean we're such a big club we can't get a dynamic midfielder like Modric or De Bruyne? United can't get top midfielders. Crazy, shocking, ridiculous. Yeah, look, we do need more. We need some dynamism in there, absolutely. And yeah, Nick Knock, you're right, man. Personal terms were told to not be an issue, and Maguire certainly had given a verbal agreement. This much was known, and then it came down to the money, and then it came down to payoffs, and now the deal's off. I mean, I think we put 2 plus 2 together, we're going to get 4. I think we know what this means. Maguire, he's not going without being paid off by United, who do not want to pay him off. West Ham will not pay him the same money, so it's a question of money. Stephanie says, Rashi will have to improve decision making. It's too predictable. When no chance of scoring, you did it twice in the second half. Garnacho free on the left. Yeah, look, you're right. Absolutely. What I will say about this as well, about Rashford, don't think he suits that central striking position. I think it kind of limits him too much. He's very, very right-footed. He wants to take everything, cut inside, shoot across goal. That is his game. That's what he wants to do. I just don't think the striking position suits him at all. I really don't. Put him on the left. He's a much better player because he'll come in, he'll shoot, or he'll play to the overlapping Luke Shaw. He'll link up with Bruno Fernandes, and that's what happens. Gani says, Erik Ten Hag already knew Maguire will stay when he said he needs to fight for his place. Should have been on the list out at the end of the season. He should have been, absolutely. Nick Knock says 30 million plus 7 million payoff. It's still 23 in the bank. It is, but it's got to be a business decision, and business decisions, sales and stuff, they're run by the Glazer family as well. Maybe there's been an involvement there. Maybe they're not looking to pay Maguire off. Let me see, who else have we got down here? Let me check the polls well, guys, because I'm seeing 75 votes here. 79% are saying they're annoyed by Maguire staying. We have 15% saying they do not care, and 7% are saying they're happy he's staying. Clearly some West Ham fans in here. Clearly someone has hit the wrong button. That's all I can assume, because I haven't spoke to any happy United fans about this Maguire situation. And I think even the most Maguire-friendly journalists and fans and people out there would even admit themselves that the situation is untenable. He has to go. It was the best thing for him, and he's not done it. So he's going to have to live with that. I hope that he doesn't play a lot this season. Another player who might not play too much this season, but is going to be at United regardless, and that is Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson will be staying at Manchester United. Coming in from Sky Sports, Henderson shall remain a Manchester United player this summer unless a replacement becomes available. Henderson is also seen as an important member of the squad, even more so now due to Tom Heaton's injury. So there we have it, guys. Dean Henderson staying against his will, Maguire staying against United's will. All is well in Old Trafford, as we can see. Stephanie says, thanks to Ed Woodward, United don't have Bellingham and Caicedo, but we've got Maguire. Yeah, look, I would actually ask this to you guys, and I will ask you this as well. In your opinion, is Ed Woodward every bit as bad for this football club in his decisions and what he's done to the club and the ridiculous policies over transfers as the Glazer family themselves? Because I think Woodward was practically an extension of the Glazer family. I mean, we backed out of Bellingham, we backed out of Haaland, we backed out of Caicedo. We could have had Enzo Fernandez, could have had Julian Alvarez. We could have had somebody else I was looking at earlier as well. He'll come back to me. He'll come back to me. But so many good players we could have got, and we didn't. We backed out of deals. We didn't want to pay 100, something like 10,000 or 100,000 in an agent bonus to Moses Caicedo's agent. Now he's gone for 115 million pounds to Chelsea. I don't think that was a particularly smart business decision, and it's just the latest in a long, long line. Chris says Maguire is a waste of a YouTube bandwidth. Terry says as well, it's so annoying the players have missed out on. Absolutely. Nick Knock, you're right. Henderson's a quality goalkeeper, but I just don't think he's going to be happy at the club. And there was issues last time when he was back up. let's hope that it doesn't happen again. Let's hope that we can keep some peace in this fan base. Hot Fuzz says Woodward and Arnold is all buddy with the Glazers. Equal accountability for everything wrong with this club. Absolutely. And look, for as bad as the Glazer family are, for as horrible as an ownership as this has been for our football club, they don't actually run the club. They do not take too much to actually do with the club. They just put in people who help them buy the club on debt, who they knew would be loyal to them and would make decisions in their best interest. And that's every bit as bad, in my opinion. Jeremy says Bellingham made the right choice. Absolutely, he did. I will absolutely say that. Andrew says Bellingham gone, De Bruyne was available and gone. Caicedo available and gone. Another Ed Woodward. Yeah, it's just Ed Woodward over and over again. I mean, we could have had Sadio Mane. We chose not to go for him. We went for Memphis Depay, the flashy player, the expensive one, the up and coming guy who was going to wear the number 7 shirt and did nothing. And look, there's so many players out there. Andrew says when they're young and hungry, go for the big club. Yeah, look, I will give it that. I think Højlund's going to be one of those players we're glad we signed, but guy needs to get fit first. Guy needs to get onto the pitch, and then we can see. But it's the kind of signing we maybe wouldn't have made 5 years ago. I don't know. But like 5 years ago, if it was still Woodward in charge, we probably would have broke the bank and brought in Harry Kane and no other signings. Something like that could have been what happened. 87 votes in the poll as well, guys. 76% of you guys are feeling annoyed Maguire is staying. We got 15% do not care. And 9% now are saying, yeah, I'm happy Maguire is staying. I feel like there's some rival fans in there. If so, welcome to the channel, guys. 35 likes as well. Big ups, guys. Can we get up to 40? Only 5 likes would be very, very much appreciated, as always, guys. Any more thoughts? Get them down there. Andrew says, do we have a scout system or we pick randomly? I feel like we kind of just ask Erik Ten Hag who he wants. Which, yeah, one thing, it's good getting what a manager wants, but I think you have to have some proper scouting systems, players in like a catalogue, different options and who you might look for when. That's what we got to do, guys. We got to like really, really stretch this out. We should be looking at a Casemiro replacement. We should be looking at a Varane replacement. Not that these players are going to retire, not that these players are suddenly going to become awful overnight, but in 2 to 3 seasons, we're probably going to have to start looking at replacements. So I would like us to at least have an idea of who we want to bring in, whether it can be done internally or we need to buy. That's what we got to do. Christian says, I believe Maguire will leave his England career is a huge doubt. Colwell is getting game time at Chelsea, looking good. Yeah, Levi Colwell will be an interesting one for Harry Maguire, but Gareth Southgate loves Harry Maguire as well. So it's an interesting scenario there. Absolutely. Very, very good point. Stephen says West Ham wanted him on the cheap. They expected United to pay Maguire off. That's true as well. Nick Nack says big teams tend to buy ready-made players at exorbitant price. They don't do scouting like Brighton do. Yeah, look, I think there's a mix. Like, I do think there's a mix. I don't want United to be doing Chelsea's and spending £1 billion on a load of different players. I want us to at least know these players are going to fit the system, that they're going to be suitable for English football, not spending like 90 million on Mudryk, something like that. Stephanie, Martial could feature. He played today in that behind closed doors friendly. I didn't score. Look, there's no highlights, no nothing we can really judge his performance of, but I mean, it's a possibility. I think at the moment, I want to see Sancho on that pitch as well. I think that's necessary. I think he's really, really good last night. Ira is saying Maguire, no ambition in football. He has taken a leaf from Phil Jones' manual. Stay on the bench and collect the money on weekly wages. Does look to be it. Look, Chase, you're right, man. If we focus on Sofyan Amrabat and bring him in, I think that is the signing. I think that is what Manchester United need. Terry, we're a few years challenging from the Premiership, but backing Erik Ten Hag will come good. Yeah, I think so as well. Look, I would love us to be competing for the league. I really would, but I just don't think we've got it in us. Not this season. Maybe next season it's a possibility. Maybe we can surprise some people next season, but we're going to have to play a lot better than what we did last night if we want to do anything. Who else have we got down here as well? I think I might have missed a couple of comments, maybe. Andrew says, Højlund is young, even if he feels we can work with him. Yeah, look, it's not going to be smooth running. It's not going to be like Erling Haaland coming in and scoring 500 goals per week for City. It's not going to be like that. He will struggle at times. He will drop out of form. He's a young player. He is on a rapid rise. Very, very talented player. Lots of ability, lots of potential, and he will come good. We just need to manage him properly through this injury. Get him into that team. Era says, what do you think of the performance yesterday? In my opinion, totally shambolic. The midfield is non-existent. Casemiro was dead. Yeah, look, I think there's massive issues in the midfield. I think we kind of went with a 3. We went 4-3-3. And the issue was we had Casemiro kind of sitting like here, and then where Bruno and Mount should have been was around here. So it shouldn't have been so far. Casemiro was quite deep. Bruno and Mount pushed on. It leaves a massive space, maybe 10, 15 yards between that, and far too easy to play through. Then Wolves just took advantage. They inverted the wingers and they went 5 versus 3 with Mount and Bruno so high up the pitch. It basically became 5 versus 1 with Casemiro. So we need to work on that one. Stephanie, you're right. We do need to introduce pay for play. Absolutely. I mean, if I wasn't going into work and doing my job, I wouldn't be paid. You know. It's one of them. Big T says, think Mick Maguire stay at home now and put a halt on his career. Man, they're going to have to do something. Like, they really are. I think genuinely the only thing that makes a difference here, the only thing that might push him towards the exit door, is if Gareth Southgate calls him up and says, Harry, you need to take this move because I can't pick you for England squad if you're not playing football. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think Southgate is too much of a coward to do that. I think Southgate will not have that sort of resolution in him. I really, really don't. 102 votes in the poll as well, guys. 75% saying they're annoyed Maguire is staying. 10% saying they're happy and 16% don't care. Andrew says send Maguire to the reserve team. I don't think we're going to do that. I feel like at United it's kind of like you might go to reserves if you've like had a disciplinary breach, something like that. But I don't know, like, this Maguire stuff it's bothering me. It really is. Making him the captain of the reserve team. Might not even be the captain. Who knows? Stephanie as well is saying he should be nowhere near the first team. Yeah, I would completely agree with that. We did the same with Erik Bailly. If they're not going to be involved in the team, not going to be involved in playing, do we have to keep them there? Do we need them there? That's got to be the question at some point that we have to be asking ourselves, guys. Let me just double check something as well. Want to see if anything else is written about this Maguire situation, but it is genuinely a state of shock online. I don't get it, guys. I really don't. I sat maybe last week and said I think this deal gets done within a couple of days. He was agreed. That was always the big thing. Was Manchester United's valuation was so high. West Ham paid it. Where is he? Sheed, good evening to you, man. The Glazers will not pay him off. Absolutely not. You're correct in that one. Big T says Southgate will be paid the 1 million of the money Maguire's rinsing for the club for. We'll say nothing about that. And Maguire knows Southgate will never drop him. Absolutely. And that's what it comes down to. That Maguire's more interested in playing for England than he is for Manchester United. And that's what I think's annoying. Let me see. What is the role of Mount in the team? Is it 8 or 10? I don't really know on the field of play. I think Bruno and Mount were meant to be number 8 last night, but they played in a number 10 position, and it just made so much space on the pitch. It was really, really poor. Big T, is it bugging me the manager is complicit and he needs to stop naming Maguire in the squad? I mean, I guess that's maybe the next step, is just completely drop him from the squad. Who knows? Definitely wants to send him to Greece on vacation. We might never see him again. Southgate would have to go James Bond style, break him out of prison over there and rescue him for the Euro squad. As time's gone on, it looks more like Maguire isn't going anywhere. No, absolutely, man. Zanya, good to see you, man, as well. Thanks for joining in. What do I think of the extra time situation? Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, guys. I mean, we were doing the watch along last night, and it was nail-biting stuff because we were hanging on, and then 7 minutes of out of time came out of nowhere. So annoying. Paula says, if I was Harry, I would run now, take the money I was offered. If he doesn't, I fear the fans will make his life misery. I said that a long time ago, weeks ago, and even on this stream as well. Maguire's got no way back with the fan base. There is no way back with Manchester United fans. The mind has been made up. He has been cast as a player who doesn't deserve to be there, whose actions on and off the pitch have meant that he shouldn't be there, and United fans aren't happy. And if we go and Raphael Varane gets injured and Harry Maguire has to play, and Harry Maguire makes a mistake, that's going to go down like a ton of bricks. That is going to go down like a lead balloon. Manchester United fans will not be happy with that. Era says, is there any chance we're getting out some or two players before the window shuts? I think we get Stefan and Amrabat. I was feeling that we might go for Pavard or Tabedo, but without Maguire going, has to be doubtful. Mohammed is down there. Maguire, Phil Jones must be related. Only care about the money. Stephanie says in cricket they have central contracts. Perhaps we need that in football with Joker Southgate. Maybe so. Look, I am interested as well. I think I might have asked this before in the channel, but if anybody is an England football fan or from England at all, look, what is the general consensus on Gareth Southgate? Because everything I see from the guy just leaves me so unimpressed. Between nepotism, picking favourites, between really bland, poor football sometimes, what is the consensus on Gareth Southgate? Nick Nack, Phil Jones has left the club. It is Fergie time. It is. You're all right, to be fair, but it's when you're on the opposite end of it, it's not what you want. Like, you know, you want 1 minute at a time when you're hanging on at the end of a match. Let me see anything else come in. Andrew says Fergie time is 3 minutes, not 10. It's true as well. I feel like we're just going to one extreme of the other, and they are trying to improve a lot of things in football, but one thing I have an issue with is the implementation of VAR and stuff hasn't even been perfected yet. So while we're moving on, we can't just move on and say, yeah, okay, VAR is perfect, let's go on. Andrew says Jones is gone. Yeah, Phil Jones is gone. Long last. Fergie want Fergie time on top of that. He might do. Steph. There we go. Stephanie in there with the cheap, with the big words as well. Paula is down there. Good to see you, Paula. What do we got? The word spell and spring to mind. Loving that one. Gotta go in heavy. Fair enough. Like, I mean, I'm Irish, so it wouldn't really be my area of expertise is like English football fans' feelings towards Southgate. I haven't seen anybody be overly positive about the guy, despite the fact the media tries to tell us he's a brilliant manager because England go far in tournaments when they kind of just go until they meet a good team, and then it's a real high chance that they end up losing. Nick Nack, Phil Jones is a free agent. I don't see anybody taking Phil Jones on. I really don't. I think he probably goes, maybe retires. Terry should pick players on performance, not just because he's the usual pick, no matter what. Absolutely. I mean, Henderson's the obvious one. I was in this TalkSport interview, and Southgate was saying, yeah, Jordan's still going to be in the team so long as he's fit. I mean, he's playing in Saudi Arabia. That's not what you want to be saying. There's far better players out there than Maguire and Jordan Henderson for that England team anyway, so surely they shouldn't be playing. 111 votes as well, guys. We have 74% saying they're annoyed by the Harry Maguire news. We got 16% saying do not care, and 10% saying happy. We're up to 39 likes on the stream, guys. Can we hit 40? That would be massively appreciated. He might have to retire. Maybe goes into coaching. I think there might have been an offer potentially from DC United with Wayne Rooney. Might have given him an opportunity to have something of a career, I guess. But I don't know. Like, I feel bad for Phil Jones as well. Injuries completely ruined the guy's career, but he should have been moved on years ago. He really should have. Yeah, guys, big ups, 39 likes, massive thank you on that one. Can we hit 40 as well? Only one more to go. And yeah, we'll stay on for a couple more minutes as well. I want to check some stuff. I want to see what the latest on Stefan Amrabat is, to see if anything is coming out really, because he seems to be trending a little bit online. So I want to have a look and see where we're going with this one. I think Amrabat has to come in now. Really has to. It looks like we have to sell Van de Beek as well as Fred. So let's hope this Van de Beek deal can get done quickly, because I think Amrabat's the exact guy we need. That sort of steal, that sort of quality on the ball will really benefit this Manchester United team. Paul says, really, I actually like Phil Jones. It wasn't his fault. The club gave him a 5-year deal knowing he was injury prone. He wasn't toxic. Yeah, look, he should never have got that deal. I mean, Ashley Young shouldn't have got the deal at the same time. But it's an Ed Woodward's policy, as the sheet has just referenced down below, a Woodward and a Glazer thing, and it was their decisions, and we couldn't really do too much. I mean, look, those contracts were extended when Ollie was the interim manager. We didn't have a full-time manager. Those were made by the club. You know, that was a Woodward call to extend the likes of Phil Jones and Ashley Young and players like that to try keep value in the team. So frustrating when they did that, guys. Really, really was. 113 votes as well, 73% saying they're annoyed Maguire is staying. Nick-Nack is down there. Where's Van de Beek going? I heard Sociedad pulled out. I thought the Sociedad deal was still on. That's what I was under the impression of, was that it was most likely Real Sociedad. Let me have a double check, because it looks to be... It is being talked about a lot, Van de Beek leaving, but not really too much stuff about that. Interesting news as well today. Manchester United beat Everton 2-0 in a closed-doors friendly at Carrington. Goals came from an own goal on Scott McTominay. Anthony Martial made his first appearance. Van de Beek, Hannibal and Gore were amongst United's other starters. But I'm not seeing too much in Donny Van de Beek going in terms of actual destinations. I mean, Fabrizio Romano still thinks Real Sociedad could be the offer. This was 2 or 3 days ago now. Manchester United's intentions remain clear. Sell Fred, and Fenerbahce will bid now, so that was done. And then he said, agree a loan deal for Donny Van de Beek with Real Sociedad with the obligation to buy. So that's what we're going for. Stephanie says, clock is ticking, soon to be deadline day, better get a shift on. Absolutely, we need to get a shift on. And I know Manchester United can do it. All this talk about United being short on time, do you guys remember, let's see, would have been not last season, maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago. It was the lockdown season. We managed to finish second in the league. On deadline day, we bought Edison Cavani, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo, Facundo Pellistri. We signed 4 players on deadline day, and Manchester United tried to tell us that 16 days isn't long enough to sign another centre-back. I mean, I'm just not buying it, guys. I'm not buying it. I'm really, really sorry. On that one, Andrew says, why does the camera have to be focused on Maguire's face, especially when he played so poor? He just adds to my frustration, but he wasn't even on the field. Yeah, look, it's a circus. It's something that's been going on for a long time. I'm sure Erik Ten Hag is really, really tired of it. I'm tired of it as well, guys. Milan have been mentioned. What was that about, Nick-Nack? Let me see. Oh, was that... Surely not Phil Jones. I'm trying to scroll through that there one. Nick-Nack, strange no Premier League teams want to touch Van de Beek. Oh, Van de Beek to Milan. Yes, I was going to say, because Phil Jones says to Milan, that's an interesting one. I think Premier League clubs look at him at United. There's been nothing of note. I think they'll look at him at Everton. Wasn't a good loan either, so I don't think that's the one. Yeah, guys, big ups. 41 likes as well. Massive, massive thank you for everybody turning out tonight. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. My voice is still quite sore as well. Kind of got a bit of a sore throat going on as well. So thanks so much for joining in, guys. Hopefully some better news to bring you guys tomorrow as well. So have a good Wednesday. See you guys normal time, 7:30 p.m. UK time. Big ups, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I will see you all in the next one.